tell us a little bit about the rescue operations that we can see going on behind you.
Good morning, Isabel. Well, now we passed the 13th hour after the earthquake, but still rescue operations are going on. The building you can see behind me is actually one of 5,700, more than 5,700 buildings that has flattened after the earthquakes in the region. 10 cities were affected in the region. It is a very, very sad day, I can say, very sad week actually for the whole nation. Mourning to those who have lost their lives, while thousands are still under the rubble. Rescue operations are going on, but really hopes are shading away every hour because well, the sun has just shining now, but a few hours before it was raining here, and it's also very cold and snowy in most of the region, which is also adding up to the misery in the region. So the people, about 338,000 people slept outside last night in shelters, and some other thousands, of course, in their cars and in their relatives, because no one is really at this moment daring to go back to their homes, even if it's still standing up like this one. It can be ruined in any second, because we are seeing after earthquakes like very frequently.
And did you just experience one? We understand there's been another aftershock, 5.7 magnitude. And if so, what was it like, standing where you are?
Yes. That's it. That's it. The electricity went out like a noise, and it's very fast. It's until you realize that an earthquake is happening. So it's really scary in a way. So most people are here waiting their loved ones to come out of the rubble, hopefully alive. But unfortunately, 20 bodies were taken out from this building behind me today, and they were all dead bodies. So the death toll is increasing every minute, I can say.
And Melda, even though people may have survived the quakes and those buildings are still standing, it doesn't mean that those buildings are safe or they can be allowed to go back into them. So what will happen to all the people who have to have left their homes?
So that's the question, really, because some of the buildings that survived the first earthquake collapsed in the second one. So it's nowhere near safe. And we see like the whole population of Adana almost was living stayed in their tents last night. And we don't know how long this will continue, because we're talking about 10 cities in Turkey, in southeast and eastern Turkey, that were affected by this earthquake. So it's really difficult to see what will happen in the coming weeks. But for sure, it's a difficult task to find a shelter for so many people.
Yeah, and Melda, you talk about it being a sad day for Turkey and of course for Syria as well. At some point, I'm sure that sadness will turn to anger as people say, why were buildings erected that were not strong enough to withstand earthquakes when we are in an area that is prone to tremors?
Well, you are so right, Isabel. That's the real question, actually. We know that we are in a zone that is very prone to earthquakes like this one. We have survived the 1999 earthquake in Turkey, which was in which 180,000 people lost their lives. So after that, they changed the regulations on new buildings, right? And they made it very tough. But really, did the companies making the buildings abide by those rules? That's a question mark. How much is the government and how much the authorities are really controlling the government, these buildings and their safety? It's a question mark.